Good morning. Now, Parshat Vayeitzei, we have Yaakov's great vision, where he is granted a prophecy. He sees the angels going up and down the ladder, and Hashem makes him certain promises, and Yaakov makes certain requests. And I'd like to study those briefly. Hashem says to Yaakov, "V'nei Hashem nitzav alav, behold, God was standing over him. Vayomer, and he said, Ani Hashem Elokei Avram avicha v'Elokei Yitzchak. I am Hashem, the God of Avram, your father, and the God of Yitzchak. Ha'aretz asher ata shochev alea, lecha etnena ulezarecha." The land upon which you are lying, I will give it to you and your descendants. That's promise number one. I will give you the land. And your children, your descendants, will be like the dust of the earth, and you will spread out south, east, north, and west. That's promise number two. You have a lot of children. Promise number three, they will spread out. And all of the families of the earth will bless themselves by you and by your children. That's promise number four. Promise number five, behold, I am with you. And I will protect you everywhere you go. That's number six. And I will return you to this land. Number seven. And I will not leave you until I have fulfilled what I have promised to you. I think that's a general promise, including the other promises. So Yaakov wakes up. He is overcome with awe from this vision. He dedicates an altar, a standing stone, a matzeva, dedicates that to Hashem. And then this is what he says. And Yaakov takes a vow. Yaakov makes a promise saying, if these promises will be fulfilled, if I will have these following things. And now he goes through his own list of requests. Number one, Hashem will be with me. Number two, guard me on this path, in which I'm going. Number three, and he will give me bread to eat and clothes to wear. Number four, Veshavti b'shalom el beit avi, and I will return in peace to my father's house. Hashem li lelokim, Hashem will then be a God to me. Then he goes on to say, I will set the stone as an altar, as we mentioned. Everything that Hashem gives me, I will give a portion of it to Maaser, for tzedakah. But if you look at those four commitments, or those four commitments that Yaakov asks from Hashem, they are identical to the second half of the promises that Hashem makes him. Yaakov says to Hashem that if you'll be with me, Hashem says I'll be with you. Yaakov says to Hashem, if you'll protect me, Hashem says I'll protect you. Yaakov says to Hashem, if you'll bring me back safely, Hashem says I'll bring you back safely. It's all, they're in sync, as we say. They're synchronized, they're on the same page. However, the Midrash points out that there is one thing that is not completely aligned, one thing that seems to be lacking. Yaakov says to Hashem, please provide for me bread to eat and clothes to wear. And Hashem doesn't mention anything about that. And it's an important thing, and it's something not to be taken lightly. I think we're relatively blasé and casual about the food that we eat, but perhaps we don't understand or realize just how important it is. Rashi says two things on this. The one is that he says that if you give me bread to eat, that's connected to Hashem not abandoning Yaakov. So Rashi actually says that to an extent it is included, because Hashem says, I won't abandon you. Somebody who doesn't have bread to eat is considered abandoned, forsaken. And unfortunately, it's a phenomenon of which we're well aware, of people who don't even have their basic needs, don't even have food to eat. But this is something important. And he says, Rashi says elsewhere in the book of Devarim, that when Hashem says that he loves the convert, Hashem loves somebody who's converted to Judaism. Converts are treated in Judaism even better, with even more respect and love than people who are born Jewish. And it says Hashem loves the convert to give him bread and clothing. That's the important thing. And Rashi points out over there that the most important thing that Yaakov asks Hashem for is the bread and the clothing, is these basic necessities. But the question is, why isn't this spelled out? Hashem says to Yaakov, I won't forsake you, and that implies to us that he is given the bread. Why doesn't Hashem just say, I'll give you bread? And the Maggid of Dubno has a wonderful story to illustrate this. He says that there was a father sending his son on a trip to a faraway land. And they were busy packing, and they were arranging what the son would need for his journey. And the father says, I'll make sure you have warm clothes, I'll make sure you have a raincoat, I'll make sure, that you're taken care of, that you have everything you need. And then the son says, but Father, I'm worried, it's a bit dangerous. Father says, you know what? I'm going to come with you. I'm going to take that journey with you, I'll come with you the whole way. So then the son says, okay, but I still need to pack food and money for the trip. Father says, my son, you don't understand. I'm coming with you. I'm traveling with you along the whole way. Whenever you need food, I'll provide you food. Whenever you need money, I'll provide you the money. I'll take care of your needs as we go. We're in this together. That's what it means that I'll come with you. And that's the idea here as well, the Maggid of Dubno explains in our Parsha. Yaakov says to Hashem, please take care of me. Hashem says, I'll take care of you. Please come with me. Hashem says, I'll come with you. I'll protect you on the whole way. Anochi imach, I am with you. When Yaakov asks for food and clothes, that's simply not necessary. Hashem says, don't you understand? I'm with you every step of the way. I'm taking care of you. And that message obviously isn't just to Yaakov Avinu. The message is to us, that we need to understand at every stage in our lives, at every point in our personal journeys, Hashem is with us, Hashem is taking care of us. Hashem, we say in Tehillim, the book of Psalms, I'm with him in his trouble. When we have trouble, when we have hard times, when we look for Hashem, we should remember Hashem is not far. Hashem is right with us all the time. And when we ask ourselves where are things going to come from, we say in the Shir Lamalot, which I say was composed by Yaakov Avinu himself, I will lift my eyes to the mountains. Where will my help come from? He answers, Im Hashem, Shamayim Ba'aretz. My help comes from Hashem, the creator of heaven and earth. We need to know Hashem's always there. We can always count on Hashem. I can always count on Hashem to do the things we want. We can always count on Hashem to give us exactly what we need. Have a wonderful Shabbos.